Tes Radio, always feeling low. Tes Radio, always feeling.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're doing a podcast for Radio Tes, a club of 4th grade.
It's an absolute pleasure for me to be here. I'm very happy to be here for Tes Radio. I'm really trying to help the grade 4 student club, and I'm really looking forward to this podcast today.
Okay, thank you very much. Today we're going to interview a person that is very important to the English school. We're very happy to interview it. Today we're going to do some questions to a person, and it's so important for us. So, good morning.
Good morning, it's lovely to see you today.
Thank you. So today we're going to do some questions for you, and we're going to start asking you where are you from.
Okay, fantastic. Before we start, I would like to say a big thank you for having the opportunity to answer some questions. I'm very excited to participate in the Tes Student Radio. Okay, so I am from England. I am from a town called Luton, which is a small town, and it's just north of the capital city of London, which is the capital city of England. London is a small town. It used to be very famous for making hats and for making cars. So that's where I'm from.
Okay, did you like to enjoy your time in London or in England?
Luton. Yes, I loved it. Yeah. So when I was younger, I was born in the town of Luton, and then I lived in a small village called Edlesborough and in a small town called Winslow. And I spent lots of my time playing outside. It was quite a rural area, lots of countryside, so I used to go out on my bicycle, I used to play football and hang out with my friends, and I loved it. And then when I got a bit older, I moved to a city called Sheffield, which is a city in the north of England with lots of hills, and walking and things like that. And then finally, after university, I lived in London, which is the capital city, and it's very busy with lots of different people and lots of cool things to do. So I very much enjoyed my time in England.
Perfect. Okay, did you have brothers?
I do have a brother. I had a brother called Luke. He's 3 years younger than me, and he used to live in Colombia, and he actually used to work in this school. He was a global humanities and English teacher about 6 years ago. So we worked together. We've travelled together to many countries like Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, Panama, and now he lives in Nicaragua, which is a country in Central America, and I visit him sometimes there too.
Okay, and which country did you like more in your traveling with your brother?
Well, we shared many excellent experiences. We went to, for example, Machu Picchu in Peru, many other places, but I think Colombia is the most special place for us. We've been to, one of the places I enjoyed the most, we went to Playa Blanca in Cartagena. And we really enjoyed that. Beautiful crystal blue water, perfect white sand, and it was a very nice time.
It's so beautiful. Okay, and did you like sports? Because you said me that in England you play sports with people.
Oh yes, I love sports. So ever since I was about 7 or 8 years old, I used to really like football. We used to have a big back garden at my house, and so my brother and I used to play football together in the garden. It used to be very fun. We used to play for a football team called Stony Stratford Town Football Club, where we used to play on the weekends. My dad used to come and watch, my mum sometimes as well. So yeah, we used to like that a lot. We played tennis a little bit as well. We had some tennis courts near our house, and we used to enjoy playing tennis. And also we like to ride our bicycle. In England it's very common for people to have bicycles, and we used to ride around the town to see our friends, so we used to like to do that as well.
Okay, what are your hobbies that you like to do? Like you said, with sports and something else, or that's it?
Okay, well, the things I like to do right now at my stage in life is that I really like podcasts, and so for that reason I'm very excited to be on the podcast today. I really like to listen to podcasts, particularly about football and sport and news. That's great. I play football a little bit, not too much now, so I've got a bit of a bad knee these days, but I still like it. I like to go cycling. In Bogota it's great for cycling because there's lots of nice hills, lots of cycle paths. I like to go running sometimes, there's some nice parks to do running. And also I really like to read, because reading is a really nice way to distract. And also, I try not to do it too much, but I also really like watching series and movies on Netflix. I really enjoy watching that. That's to relax.
Yeah. And which is your favorite book that you have read?
Oh, my favourite, now that's a tough one. I think my favourite book ever I read, it's called His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. I don't know if you heard of that book?
No, but...
Okay, so it's kind of, I read it when I was about 19, so it's quite a long time ago, and it was kind of similar to Harry Potter. It's kind of like a bit of fantasy, kind of a bit of magic, and they go through different worlds, but it's a really, really interesting book. And what's good about it is I think children can read it, teenagers can read it, young adults can read it, and older people can read it, and it will still have a really good meaning for them. There's a film out called The Golden Compass, which came out a few years ago, and that was about that book. And there was another new series which is based on it as well, called His Dark Materials. But the book, I always think the book is always better than the series, so that's one of the best ones. So I recommend everybody listening, His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman is a fantastic one.
Perfect. And so we're going to do the last question and then we'll finish. Do you like animals or pets, something like that?
Oh yes, I don't have a pet right now, but I always, when I was younger, I always had pets. So my first pet, I had a dog called Ben, who was a beautiful golden retriever, and he was so nice. And I always remember him. He was my dog when I was like a baby. I think I saw photos of me when I was a baby, kind of wrapped around him. He used to carry me around. I used to have a cat called Rosie Lee, and she was really nice. She was a lovely cat. Then me and my brother, we had a hamster called Hammy. So it's a tiny, tiny little hamster. He used to go in his ball and go on his wheel. Then we had a then we had a dog called, what was the dog's name? Called Rufus, and that was a nice story because my dad went on holiday to Greece, and he was a stray dog, and my dad brought him back from Greece to our house so we could have him. And then we had another dog which actually was called Ben as well, so we've had two dogs called Ben. And then finally we had a cat called Raf. It was my brother's cat, and he used to really like Spanish, and there was a Spanish football player called Rafael Gonzalez Blanco Raul. So my brother used to call him Raf. So that we had Raf the cat, and he lived until he was 19 years old, so he was very old. So yeah, my family have always really loved animals, and I really like animals too.
Okay, that's all for Radio Tes today. We're gonna say thank you to Mr. Adam that gave us the time. And okay, thank you, bye.
Thank you very much, Sophia. I've had a wonderful time on Radio Tes today. It's been really enjoyable listening to your questions and talking about some of my past experiences with sports and animals, etc., etc. I wish all you and everybody at Radio Tes all the very best, and I look forward to participating sometime soon. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Tes Radio, all this feeling low. Tes Radio, all this feeling. Tes Radio, all this feeling now. Tes Radio, all this feeling. Tes Radio, all this feeling now. Tes Radio, all this feeling.